Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing out there? Are you ready for some great music today? I think we can do better than that. You ready for some great music today? Well, I know that you're going to get some great music today. I've watched this over the last day and a half take place, and it's just amazing the work that the students have put in. And you're going to see also today a brand new composition that was started yesterday in the morning, and after about 6 to 7 hours worth of work, a beautiful creation has been created, and you're going to hear it today and premiere. So I think you'll know exactly how much work our students have put in over the last couple of days. Welcome to the 5th annual Sistema residency, Building Communities Through the Music. We're really excited to be hosting it again. This year, we have programs from all over the country. And before we get started, I just want to have them, because this is one of the times we have all of our students here. I just want to kind of recognize what each program is quickly so you can kind of see where our programs are and have them stand up. We'll kind of go from our farthest away to our kind of closest programs here. So we've got students from the Archipelago Project. Can you guys stand up? They're from Michigan. We've got rock music. They're over in Rochester. You're going to see them. They're all string players. That's one of them get me. So, when you see them coming down the strings, we actually do we have any of our chime students out on this one? Yes, we do. We have Patterson Music Project. We have our old friends that have been here since the start of it, Baltimore Symphony Orchids. I like it, they chose to wear the t-shirt, I like it. And then down the street, we have our good partner, Project Music. And our King students, how do you guys stand up? All of our King students are here. All in all, you said you're going to see there's a string group that you're going to come on and see next door. That's where a couple of the programs have the heavy numbers. We have over 50 students visiting, closer to 60 students actually, from these different programs, and with their faculty and chaperones. About 75 visitors have been here with us this weekend. And with all the King students involved in today, we've got right around 130, 140 students involved in this program over this last day and a half. So it's been an amazing amount of work, and we're really excited. I want to get to the music, so I may say something here and there, but I want to get to introducing the guest artist of today. I think you guys are in for a real treat. Steve Hackman is an amazing musician. If you get a chance, you can read some of his bio on here. He's conducted the Pittsburgh Symphony, the Boston Symphony, the Indianapolis Symphony, and he's been kind of changing the way American classical music's happening and being performed, where he's fusing different genres together and styles. And so I've known Steve for a while, and I thought this would be one of the perfect themes for what we're doing here, to try to bring a guest artist in that fit the kind of same mold that we're doing. So Steve, I called him up in the summer, and I begged him to try to come, because he's got such a busy schedule all over the country. And so he happily agreed, and then we started talking about music, and then we started discussing, and so he made arrangements specifically for the students, because normally he's writing music arrangements straight for the professional symphonies, so we had to work out what we needed to do to make this happen for our students. So all the arrangements, which he'll tell you more about later, is all he created for us, and then we got him here actually a couple of days before the residency. He came and visited the King students last Wednesday, and he's been working with the students a great bit. So he is a phenomenal musician, and we're really excited to perform some of his selections. So without further ado, please welcome Steve Hackman to the stage.
here.
Yes? Oh, who's drink? Well, yes, that's true. But before the drink, we open with a little bit of Tchaikovsky. Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a second.
Check, check. Okay, this is on. Oh, I see. Okay. Do you want me to play some sort of moving? down and do the next set, I just wanted to say how excited we were to have such a large string group this year. So can we give those strings another round of applause? So what we decided to do was the best. The start was that we featured the wind band, and then have the strings have their moment, and then the choir's going to have their moment, and then for our collective composition, we're going to bring all of our instruments together. But we were so excited to have this kind of a turnout with our string programs coming from the different Sistema programs. So I'm going to turn it over to Jackie Martino and the Maestro Steve for the choir selections, and we just have to make a quick piano change.
I just want to say, for those of you that follow King Performing Arts on Instagram, just give me a minute, okay? The thing that moves, you should, by the way, King Performing Arts Instagram. The thing that has moved me so much is the fact that the string players that you just saw up here are mostly students of color, and public schools in inner cities don't have music education programs, and it's because of El Sistema that we were able to see so many string players. And I guess because this is the first year I've seen so many string players on stage, I was almost brought to tears yesterday when I came in to sit here. I just want to say, I could go on for a half an hour, but I promise I won't. But I just want to say that what this partnership with King and Project Music and Orchids and now our new friends in Paterson, New Jersey and Schenectady, and I don't know, did I leave anybody out? I don't think I did. If I did, I'm sorry. Is unique. I'm so lucky to work in a school like that we do here at King, that we're able to put on a program like this. And it's the one thing as the department chair that I am most proud of this growing program. And you might not realize it, but this is unique to anywhere. So I'm so grateful for the staff that I work with and everybody that's come here. So this is the last you'll hear from me. Well, in a second until I talk about these songs. But please give a round of applause and please check out El Sistema USA and join us in the local program. And actually, I don't really have anything else to say. You're going to see Creep by Radiohead. These arrangements by Steve Hackman are amazing. This is the group that meets every day, and then we'll bring up the rest of the group for the next song. So enjoy Creep.
concert so far? These kids are amazing, yeah? And so as you guys can stretch out a little bit, we're just having a quick transition where we're going to get basically almost every student up here on stage here right now, so it's going to take us just a little bit to get that going. So as that's happening, just want to kind of give you guys some highlights of this whole program and how it started. Jackie mentioned El Sistema USA, and I wanted to just give you a little more detail. El Sistema was created in Venezuela by a visionary named Jose Abreu, and he had this simple philosophy that music had transformative power to bring social change. And so with about 8 students, he started this music education program, which in Venezuela had grown over to about 500,000, 600,000 students, with about 400 music schools across the country. Some of their products are great programs. For those who are really into classical music, you might know the great conductor, Maestro Gustavo Dudamel of LA Phil is part of their product of the Venezuelan program, and there are many great musicians around the country and world from their program. El Sistema USA popped up about 13 years ago in the United States with a mission of bringing the El Sistema program model to the most students that had the most need, the underserved youth. And the philosophy is that this music education is so important. It cultivates such important fundamental life skills, mentoring, great study habits, that it's an important thing that every student has the right to access. So these programs have grown across trying to bring it in. About 5 years ago, at the same time this program, we were lucky enough to get a program going in Stanford, Project Music, that myself and Mr. Ian Taylor over here, our executive director of Project Music. A lot of people see him around Kings. He also works here, and he's a great band director with me. And we know him as a person who can fix every instrument, pick up any instrument, but he is a great leader of the program, and he's really making it go in great places. And we couldn't be able to put off this whole event with King without him and some of the connection that Ian has with all the Sistema programs around the country. So we're really happy. Currently, there's about 150 or so programs in the country of El Sistema USA programs, and they range from serving youth from all the way down to kindergarten to high school students. The Baltimore Symphony Orchids is one of the earliest programs, and we've seen some kids. I saw some of them helped out my good friend Dan, who I'm going to introduce in a second, when they first started their program, and some of these students were 3rd graders. And now we've got Asia Palmer, which you're going to get to introduce here in a second, that is going to be graduating and going into music school next year. I know she's got accepted to a bunch of different places, and she's trying to make her choices of where to get in, where she should go. So it's great to see the growth. And what you're going to see here is one of the most amazing experiences, and I don't want to say too much because I want to let Dan and the students talk about this process quite a bit, this collective composition. But you get to see Sistema at its core, which is really the 2 things that it really is special about its education style is mentorship. So you're going to see students that are as young as 3rd grade with high school students. High school students are working with professional musicians. We have an amazing staff of teachers that have come from these programs. They've sat in and worked and mentored the older students. So it's this constant mentoring that you see, all right? If you know a little bit, you're ready to mentor. And we see that all the time at our program, where a person who's been playing the flute for years is helping out somebody who's never played their instrument before. So it's a great thing to see. Since they look like they're close, and I just want to give a shout out to some of the faculty. So if the faculty from all the visiting programs can just raise their hand and show up that or stand, if you're sitting, stand up and show so we can give those guys great appreciation. Without that kind of all the effort that they've put in, there's no way we could put this off. And you see, we start getting this many students in this process, which you're going to hear about a little bit more and feel definitely couldn't do without all this great teaching staff that are here. So we're very lucky and very excited to have it happen. So the person I'm about to introduce for you real quick, another good friend of mine, Dan Trahey. He is the director, artistic consultant with the Baltimore Symphony Orchids. He helped co-found that organization. But before that, I've known him since he was that big. We were in middle school band together, playing tuba and trombone, goofing off, making a lot of music. And one of the things that we try to tell all the students here, one of the things is these connections you build when we do this too. It's the thing of music connects us in such different ways that you don't know how you're gonna, you have these experiences, you don't know what you're gonna take from, and you have not just about talking about lifelong friendships, but it can create careers and connections through things. For example, the reason we have Steve Hackman here is because Dan and I went to an Eastern Music Festival in college, and we met Steve there. And so, who knew 20 years down the road, I'd be calling Steve up and be like, hey, can you come to my school and work? So these are these connections that you never know about when you have a program that creates this thing. It's always about building community, creating together. That's what's so very special about this program. So I would like to stop talking and hand this mic over to Dan so he can tell you exactly about what you're about to hear.
Okay, here we go. 2 days ago, we started with one, I think, amazing idea, and that is, how do you bring two seemingly disparate things together? When I asked Steve Hackman about his music, that's what he said. I wanted to show audiences how to bring two disparate things together. And so we said that to the kids, and what you're about to hear is what they came up with. And as Steve said, it's the next step in that process of just all of these musics being one, just being a beautiful soup. And I'm going to bring up a few people to talk about this a little bit. Can I have Nishay and Keith come up? How do you guys want to do this? You want me to interview or you just want to talk? Interview style? Keith, you just want to talk? He can just talk. That's great. One of the things that's amazing about this process is how vulnerable as an adult you have to be. In education, in our lives, we think we have so much information to give the youth, and what I have found is oftentimes it's the youth that can give us the most information. So I just kind of hand the mic over all the time.
Okay. My name is Keith. This is my 5th time here at Connecticut. Every year, to me, it gets better. Just meeting new people, making more music, and meeting some of my old friends too. And this piece today is probably like the hardest one we did because we literally only had 2 days. And like with both the music that was written out and the music that was created, we only had 2 days to really work it up as a whole group. So, and then to me, it sounded like really good, and hopefully this sounds really good too. But yeah, that's all I was saying.
Hi guys. I'm Nashay Cheatham. This is also my 5th year being in Connecticut, and I have fun every year, and it's always for different reasons. Like the first time I came, I was meeting people, and I was like, "Is this what you guys do here?" Because we had to shadow them and like go to their classes and stuff. And I was like, "This is not what I do at home at all." And I was so confused the first time. I came back the next year and it was like, I know what I'm doing now, so y'all can walk with y'all, you feel me? Right? This year I'm like in charge, I'm the top dog now, you feel me? Like, I get to run everything. I know where you should be and I know where I should be, so I get to tell you what to do now. It's like, no, it's not like that, it's not like that. I boss them around all the time. But this piece, it was hard. I'm not gonna hold you. It was really hard trying to get this together. And it was like long hours working on it too, but I think we all had fun. Did we all have fun? I think they're a little tired. You think they're a little tired? Let's fight again. Did we all have fun? Yeah! We all had fun. I hope you enjoy.
Just a few more things. Check out, we call it dynamic leadership. Check out all the different leadership changes in this piece. Even the way that it's stuck. not led by an adult up here. You watch it just kind of flow through the entire ensemble. What we're talking about is just group leadership. Imagine that concept, right? It doesn't have to be a hierarchy of one boss or one. It can be every single person's idea. Everyone can take on leadership. We also talk a lot about what types of leadership there are, because not everyone's going to have a big boomy voice and tell everyone to be quiet or be louder and all that. So you're going to see other forms of leadership here. Some of our quietest students are also some of our best instrumentalists. You're going to hear that leadership from within the group. So what you have here is 75 young dynamic leaders creating music together. Remember, yesterday there was none of this created. Today,
combine and the better it gets.
The better it gets, the better it gets.
The more you try, the better it flips.
The better it flips, the better it flips.
When you draw the moon, your mind is lit.
Your mind is lit, your mind is lit.
The gooier the slime, the more legit.
The more legit, the more legit. Never mind, we sing black things. Never mind, we sing black things.
All right, thank you very much for coming out. Huge thanks to the King School, all the administration for supporting this event. We've got to give them a huge hand for all the support they've given us. Also, the Parent Association of King, they've given us great support. Mr. Blackman, our guest artist here. And just so you know, if you want to hear more music, all the teaching faculty are going over with some of our older students, and we're going to have a jam session over at Sterling Farms in the banquet hall. And you're welcome to come over there. We have some advertisers, and we're going to be jamming out. Teachers playing some students' themes, and students don't even know that I popped into them their actual old tunes that they created, so we're going to see how much they remember.
How are you? You should thank this guy a lot.
He does such visionary things, and I'm so jealous because he's like never stressed out too. And he has children and family and all that kind of stuff too. So what an amazing guy. Let's give him one more round of applause. Thanks for that.
If you didn't have enough, come join us. And if you want to see, we're going to be doing small parts of this at 3 assemblies tomorrow. So the kids perform 3 more times these songs. So I think by the end, you know, that was our first try at that competition. I guarantee you by the time we play that for the middle school assembly at 10:30 tomorrow, we'll be really crushing it. So, all right. Thank you very much for coming out today.